Friday, September 12th, 2025. The time is 11:38 p.m. And today I will just narrate my day. You see the title is we had a repeat of last Friday. Friday must be my day out here, yeah? Matter of fact, I think last time I went to Victoria was Friday. Today I went to Victoria Friday. Maybe I should just keep going to Victoria, huh? Nah, I want to make it more difficult for myself either way. But look, yeah, set up 4 dates today. Obviously, either gave out a fake number or deleted their number after the conversation just to continue on. But as you know, they're for demonstration. Firstly, if you're just coming across this video for the first time, you've never seen my channel, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. So I'll introduce myself. Hello, my name is Ephraim. I'm 25 years old. I'm an American boy here in London for the first time, and what I do is I help busy introverted professionals change their dating reality around and attract hotter women into their lives without having to change their personality, without having to swipe on an app, without having to get drunk and go to a bar or a club, without having to employ the mystery method, and without having to try to hit on their coworkers, their roommates, their classmates if they're in uni, and their friends in their social circle. All right, so I teach them how to avoid doing all of that shit, which can lead to potential issues in the future, and instead, I teach them how to walk over to girls that they like when they see them in public, just out and about, when they're walking through the train station, when they're at a bus stop, when they're walking to the grocery store, when they're walking to the gym, when they're walking through the park, when they're hitting the beach with their friends. Yeah. Everyday environments, I teach them how to walk over to the girl because inevitably we all see the girl that we like on a daily basis. Oh my God, there she is. Here you are. Here's the moment. Yeah, it feels like a movie, but there's always that tightness in our chest. We go, wow, I wish, if only I could, if only I was 6'4", if only I played in the NBA, if only I was a millionaire, if only, this, and this were true. Then surely I'd be able to walk over to this girl and create some sort of romantic connection, right? Surely. But no, it's not the case. I've proven that that's not the case time and time again, not only just through doing it myself, but through teaching my students who also have learned the skill set and are now running with it. So, what I've done for my students is I've installed my quiet confidence playbook into their brain and their dating realities. And this is a playbook that I developed and I've been chiseling away at and refining over the last 2.5 years. And so when my one-on-one private coaching clients come to work with me, I simply install this playbook into their lives so that they can set up dates the same way. And if you're wondering what I mean by walking straight over to the girl, oh, we got some viewers. Just like the stream for me. I appreciate that for the engagement. If you're wondering what I mean by my students doing what I do, and you're like, what do you do then? How do you get these dates? How did you get 4 dates today then? What is the secret sauce? And you've got no idea. Well, the good news is it has nothing to do with the mystery method. All right. So if you're a guy that's looking for that, please click off. But I've just dropped plenty of evidence, video evidence of what I'm talking about over the last 7, 8, 9 days. I think I posted every single day video of me doing exactly what I'm talking about, demonstrating what I'm talking about, not just talking about it, but demonstrating what I'm talking about. This is how I get my dates. This is how I teach my students how to get dates. This is why we don't have to go to nightclubs and get drunk. This is why we never have to hit on our coworkers or our roommates again. or our friends in our social group again. Yeah, this is why we don't have to put on a fake persona, do funny mystery method type routines. Yeah, put on funny outfits, go to clubs. We're introverts. We don't want to fucking go to clubs. I don't like being around people. I don't like being in loud environments. I don't like feeling overwhelmed and overstimulated. So I steer clear of all these environments, but I still find out how to have a rock star dating life. This is how. This is the method. This is the cheat code, all right? So, anyways, if you have seen enough of my videos, you've seen enough of Ephraim lining up dates. The worst part too is that these dates aren't even happening. I'm just giving them a fake phone number because they're just for demonstration. I'm wasting so many approaches right now trying to demonstrate to guys what this looks like so that they will come forth out of the shadows and decide that they want to be the ones walking over to these girls and lining up dates because that's what I can teach you how to do. But until guys step forward like my previous clients have, then I'm just going to continue to demonstrate it and I'm going to continue to waste approaches and these girls are going to continue to text me, and the text is going to go undelivered because I don't even want the dates. You do. I don't even want the dates. My clients do. All right. So come steal them from me. I don't want them anymore. Here, I'll give them to you. All right. So look, if you want me to teach you how to do this, how to do what I do, how to do what I've done on my infields, I can teach you. That's all I do. That I've given up my six-figure programming job. I've given up my remote software sales job, all so that I can do this for the viewer, all so that I can change the lives of countless men who find themselves in the same position that I used to be in, feeling stuck, feeling lonely, going to bed lonely every night, going to bed dick in hand every night, snuggling with a pillow or a stuffed animal because you've got no girl. This is who I used to be as well. No longer the case. Let me teach you how. All right. Click the first link in the description below. You can schedule a free application call with me, and we'll see if you're a good fit for coaching. Because if you're a good fit for coaching, and you've got the funds, because I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm not cheap. My services are not cheap. But if you're a good fit, if you are a coachable person, if you have a positive mindset, a growth can do half glass half full mindset, and you're willing to put forth effort and work, then yeah, we that means that we'd be a good fit to work together. And so yeah, go ahead and book in that free application call. I know you've been hovering over the book a call button for the last 5 infields that you saw. Yeah, instead of wasting another second, another minute, another week of your life, instead of wondering what if, maybe I could, maybe I can't, if instead of wondering, just click the fucking button, book in the call, and let's just get your life sorted. Let's get your dating life sorted so that this no longer has to be an issue for you. Because I already know that guys hate watching my infields and seeing me line up more and more and more dates. They're seeing Ephraim go, oh look, I got 4 dates now. You're probably tired of this shit, right? I am too. I'm tired of lining up dates, and especially knowing that they're not even gonna happen because I'm giving them fake numbers. I'm tired of demonstrating. All right, let me show you how. Let me show you how to walk over so that these dates are not going to waste. Okay. All right. Anyways, let's talk about the day though. So today was a fun day. It was off and on rain once again, but we powered through. Me and Dirty Dan, my cameraman, we powered through. And so, firstly, we started off at Victoria London Station, and we did an uncut infield demonstration. All right. So it's funny. As soon as we started filming the infield, it started raining a bit, but we didn't even stop recording. There were a few overhang type of building structures that we went under, and there was plenty of traffic around. So this was fun. All right. So guys, especially my clients, they've come to work with me. They learn that, they pick up on this pretty quickly. But I think 3 approaches in a row, bam, bam, bam. Quick exit, quick exit, quick exit. So the first girl in a rush to work, second girl in a rush to a meeting or something, third girl lunch break, something like that. Quick, 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 blah, blah, blah. All right. And this is the reality of things. So you see, the title is I lined up 4 dates, and I'm telling you, the first 3 approaches I did went nowhere. All right. So guys have to learn to just drop their egos. Stop expecting things from these conversations, from these girls, and instead we just go to give. Yeah, go to give the compliment, go to brighten up somebody's day, and eventually you give enough and you will receive back. All right, that is literally the name of the game. That's it. That's it. It's such a simple practice too. It's such a simple practice. It's not easy though, right? And the only reason I make it look easy is because I've done it a butt fuck amount of times. I've done it so many goddamn times. You know, it's like it's only right that LeBron James looks natural when he goes into dunk a basketball. Imagine how many basketballs the guy's dunked. It's only right. It's only right that I look natural, but just know I'm not. I'm not natural. This was all developed. This was all developed. This was all refined. I'm not natural. When it comes to walking over and chatting to girls, I am not a natural. In fact, I used to be a nervous fucking wreck. In fact, I used to literally shiver in front of them. I remember my first approaches I did in 2023. I used to go, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Oh my God, what do I do? I remember before that, I was the laughing stock of my school when it came to girls. I was in the popular athlete friend group, and all my friends could get girlfriends by freshman, sophomore year. And I was the ugly duckling. I was the funny looking guy with the big pimple on my forehead and the funny afro. And the girls avoided me at all costs. And they loved being my friend because I was a fun guy and I can make them laugh. But then when it came to like, all right, you want to make out? Well, firstly, I was never even ballsy enough to say anything like that. And secondly, no, they did not. No, I'm not a natural, all right? So just keep that in mind. You watch my infields, yeah, you see my content. Guys will comment and they'll say you're smooth. They'll say I like your style. They'll say it's impressive how you can do what you do. But I just hope that they remember and they recognize that this was all built. This was all learned behavior. So if I can learn it, then you can learn it, right? Literally, if I can learn it, then you can learn it. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen in the same amount of time because we have different upbringings and different experiences and different mindsets and different starting points. But if I can learn it, let me hear it. What'd you say? Yeah, you can learn it. Exactly. Genuinely. That's that. I mean that though. All right. So blowout, blowout, blowout. And then it was great because it was raining, so we were underneath an overhang. And I'm talking to camera, right? I'm chatting to Dirty Danny, zooming in on my face, right? Get my big nose in frame, and then I go, look, this happens a lot, especially for my clients when they first start working with me, and they don't know really how to react to this, right? They're going, oh no, I feel illegitimate. The first three girls, they didn't give me the reaction I was hoping for. Is this gonna work for me? Should I just quit? Should I just give up? Usually they're not this much of a wreck because I filter out these guys beforehand and I don't even work with them. But for the guys that do make it through the vetting process and I agree to work with them, still, just like I was when I was learning this skill, still they have these doubts in their head when the day starts off like this. And so I have to normalize it for them. I have to remind them that every approach is independent. I said this like 5 times to camera during this uncut infield. I said, every approach is independent. That girl didn't know that I approached the other girl. The other girl didn't know I approached the next girl. And none of them know each other. None of them know me. None of them know what's going on. None of them have ever heard of cold approach. If they have, they're more worried about Love Island or whatever fucking show they're watching, whatever presentation they've got going on at work. Yeah, we're always thinking too many steps ahead. Okay, so every approach is independent is the first thing. And second, don't lose enthusiasm just because the first girl, the second girl, the third girl, it doesn't even matter. Just because a couple of them did not like you does not mean you should lose enthusiasm. In fact, I take this to the extreme masochistic end of the spectrum. I went to Oxford Street earlier this week and I had 17 blowouts in a row. Now, if you're brand new, if you're a beginner to cold approach, take a seat, all right? Take a seat when you get 17 blowouts in a row. Take a seat, have a coffee, lick your wounds, and then maybe try again another day, all right? But I'm a little bit psychotic, all right? I don't, or what's the word? Psychopathic, I forget the word. I'm a little bit fucking off of my hinges, and I just decide I love the pain. I love going through psychological torture because I know that it develops me into a bulletproof kind of a guy, and I'm so obsessed with that. And so what do? I charge into battle and I get 17 blowouts in a row and the camera's still rolling. We're going uncut. I'm talking in between each set. I'm talking after each blowout, right? So if I can do it 17 times and then the 18th girl loves me, right? Girl from London. She loved it, set up the date, gave her a fake phone number. Sad days. But if I can do it, if I can go through 17 blowouts, the 18th conversation goes great, and I still give that girl a fake number just so I can prove to you this is only demonstration, then god damn it, you can take 3 licks. Yeah, god damn it, you can take 4 rejections in a row, all right? It's not the end of the world. You're not going to die. Look, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm even stronger than I was before, all right? So that's the first thing to remember. Now, what was great is I was chatting to camera. I was saying pretty much everything I'm saying right now. I was saying it to camera. And as I'm talking, as I'm breaking down the fact that each approach is independent and that you shouldn't be losing enthusiasm, a very stunning girl, a curvy girl, yeah, she looked really good. She had these purplish pink, like light purple work trousers on. She walks past me as I'm chatting to camera. She walks past me. I see her out of the corner of my eye, and so I look, yeah, and she's walking in the direction that I'm facing as I'm talking to Dirty Dan. And she's walking, she's walking. I look and I look and I go, all right, well, let's just go practice what I just preached right now. And I run over, I stop her. It's great. She has 2 drinks in her hand, and she also has a bag. She just went to McDonald's or something, right? So I stop her, excuse me, hi, you look amazing. Wow, those purple pants. Wow, you look great. Wow. She's loving it right off the bat. And I go, okay, look, you have a lot of shit in your hands right now. What's going on? Are you feeding the whole office? Why do you got so much food on you? She goes, yeah, I'm picking up lunch for me and my coworker, this and that. It's my lunch break right now. I say, okay, sweet. A little bit of get to know you talk. She said she's from the southern part of London, has a real thick, dirty accent, which I find awesome. Chat for a bit. I tell her I'm from the SF. She asked me why I'm here, asked me whereabouts in San Francisco, this and that. We have a very standard get to know you conversation. And then I tell her, look, your hands are full. I don't want your biceps to give out. I don't want you to start having muscle cramps. So you look good. I'm here for 30 days. I want to take you out for a drink. She says, yes, take my number. I take my phone out. She types her number in my phone. Then I walk back to camera. Right? I tell her, all right, have a nice day. Enjoy your lunch. Get to your coworkers. Get to your office. Then I walk back. I look at the camera and I go, see? See? What did I just fucking say? Every approach is independent. Do not lose enthusiasm just because you're not getting the outcome that you want immediately. You just keep going it, right? And so obviously, I know, I understand, right? Some people, a lot of people are going to come across my channel and they're going to fall into a couple different buckets. The first bucket is going to be people, they come across the channel, they watch the infields, and they think that it's fake. They think that I'm hiring actresses, right? This happened. Go watch the recent video. I titled it, I approached a hot Swedish girl, hot Swedish blonde in London, right? So if you go watch that, look in the comments. We got a couple of guys, but there's one guy in particular that says something like, "You sure this wasn't staged? She doesn't sound Swedish to me," right? I got like two or three different comments on that video. The guys thought it's staged. All right, so that's the first bucket of people, right? So let's go through the thought process here. That means that this is what I'm doing on a daily basis, what myself, my friends, and now what I'm teaching my students to do is so audacious and so far out of their reality, they can't even comprehend that it's real. That is how audacious you will become. That is how insane you will seem to the average Joe. When you're walking over and you're lining up dates in this bold of a manner, they can't even comprehend that it could possibly be real. And they just go, no, this has to be fake. All right, so that's the first bucket. It's kind of my favorite bucket, honestly, because to some extent, growing up, when I first came across this kind of content like approach, that was like my knee-jerk reaction, because I was like, all right, I'm I was probably like 20 years old when I first ever saw anything that resembled a cold approach, right? And I didn't even know that this space existed back then. I probably saw it on like a prank channel, like if you guys have seen what's that tall guy with a mustache that goes to all the college campuses? Andrew, I think. Andrew something. Um, Damn, I can't remember his name. I wish I could. But you probably know who I'm talking about. There's that guy. He goes to college campuses. He says the most outlandish shit. He's like 6'4" and jacked, and he has a mustache, right? Just a great looking guy. So like when I first saw those, I was like, this is probably staged, right? And that was the closest thing to cold approach I'd ever seen. So that's the first bucket. The second bucket of people are the guys that see it, recognize that it's real. They go, okay, yeah, I see that this guy's he's posting his shit uncut. He's got all the live streams talking about it. He's got countless videos on it. So it registers in their brain that it's real. But then they go, okay, yeah, but I can never do this. And so usually they start spewing negativity towards me, towards my clients, towards my friends, towards cold approach in general. And they say, oh, this is odd. Oh, this wouldn't work. This is weird. You should just hit on your coworkers. I used to get that one a lot, right? So that's the second bucket of people, right? They see my videos, my infields, they recognize that it's real, and they're probably pretty taken aback, and they go, "Wow, this guy just lined up a date on camera in 15-minute uncut video. That's pretty impressive." That's probably the first thing that goes through their head, and then immediately after they go, "Oh fuck, wait a second. There's no way I would ever do that. Oh shit, that means this guy is high level competition. No, no, no. Bring him down, bring him down, bring him down." And so then they'll start chatting in the comment section saying, "Oh, you're a weirdo," right? More recent ones, the guys were saying something like, "These girls don't want to talk to you," this and that, right? As he's watching a video of the girl that I'm talking to, like giggling out of her mind, asking to hand over her phone number to me, saying, "Yes, yes, yes, I want to go on a date. I'm free tomorrow." As he's watching this, he's typing. No, they don't. She doesn't want to talk to you. This and that, right? So it's like that's the second group of people, right? They see the content, they understand that it's real, but they just don't think that it's in their reality to do it. And so for that reason, they try to bring me, my clients and my friends. They try to bring us down because I get it. Because I get it, right? It's like fuck me if that guy all he's doing is swiping on apps and like going to bars and using the classic like, can I buy you a drink, madam? Okay, I get why he would feel threatened by a guy on a channel like mine. I get it, right? I get it. Fuck, like he's no match. So I get it, right? And I wish the best for those guys. And honestly, I wish that they would just watch the content impartially and learn from it, because if they even took the principles out of it and even applied it to, let's say, the bars and the nightclubs they're going to, they probably would find more success. But it is what it is. That's the second bucket of people. And then there's a third bucket, and the third bucket is the rarest, the smallest, least populated bucket, but it's the bucket that I'm most interested in. Yeah, the third bucket are the guys that see the content, they understand that it's real, it registers in their mind, and then they have this wake up call kind of a moment where they go, okay, wait, so So this guy used to be a nerd. He shows me photos of before, right? Ephraim was a nerd. He shows me photos of himself in high school and he looked like a fucking nerd. Then he shows me photos of himself when he was like 23 and I'm 25 now. And he looked just the same as he looks when he's 25, except he's telling me that he would go 10 months at a time without getting laid and he would swipe on dating apps and nothing would come of it. And so you see, you're like watching the progression. And these guys in the third buckets, they're starting to connect dots and they're going, and then all of a sudden, right, 23 in February, he was 23 in 2023. In February, he was going months at a time without getting laid. Then he flew to Warsaw for a month, and then he came back in halfway through April. He came back, and all of a sudden, he was lining up date after date after date after date. He started a YouTube channel. He All of a sudden he had this like remote lifestyle. Then he got into sales. Then he was crushing it in sales. Then he got into software sales. Got a job super quick. Now he's going on this date and that date and that date. Now he's flying to London. He's got all these infields going on. Now he's coaching. He quit his remote job. He started coaching. And they're like seeing the progression in the journey and they're connecting the dots and they're going, wait. And he's telling me, he keeps drilling it into my head that the thing that got him here is walking over to girls in public even when he's afraid. And so they connect all the dots, and it's not, that's why I say it's the rarest bucket, because it takes a pretty intelligent guy to understand what's going on here. But they connect the dots, they lower their ego, they recognize that the content is, it's difficult, don't get me wrong, but it's possible. And they especially, this is why I like that I documented my journey early, and it's why I like that I share who I was before this, because then they get to look at who I was, and then they get to look at like who I am and where I am now, and they go, so if he's telling me that he got this sort of a dating life through walking over to girls, and then the light bulb clicks and they go, maybe I should do the same. Oh my God, what a fucking idea, guy. Yeah. They go, maybe I should just learn that. Maybe instead of swiping on all these fucking apps for hours and days at a time, yeah, instead of mass DMing girls on Instagram, which is what I used to do, and sending them all the same meme trying to shoot my shot, instead of going to these clubs and these bars and this and that, instead of paying whatever money that you're paying to learn about how to seduce girls through your social circle, aka how to fuck your friends and your coworkers, what are we doing here? Instead of doing all this stupid shit, maybe I should just learn the one thing that he says got him from over there to over here. Cold approach. Yeah. These are the guys that I'm talking to. These are the guys that I make content for. And if you watch my videos and you watch my live streams, it's likely that you are a guy that I'm talking to. Yeah, because most people, they don't stick around. The guys that think the content is fake, they watch a couple videos, they troll, they comment for a few times, and then they just move on with their lives. And they go troll the next guy in the next space and whatever he's talking about, right? The guys that understand that it's real, but they feel threatened by it, they usually only watch a couple of videos, right? They usually spam troll comments for like one or two videos, and then they go, "Fuck me, this guy's getting even better. Now he's getting more clients. Now he has more dates," and they just get out of here real quick. And they go, they're like, "Better maximize my Tinder," so they spend their time watching those videos. But if you're a guy that keeps like, why do you keep coming back to my videos? There has to be a reason, right? If you're a guy that continues to click on the live streams and you continue to click on the infields, yeah, why are you coming back? It's because you recognize that this is a very viable option for you, and it probably is the best. I'd go as far as to say the only option for you. If you're an introverted guy like me, it's unlikely you're going to find yourself in a scenario where you're in a club and you're able to somehow muster up the courage to be the center of attention in order to hook up with the girls in the club, right? Or better yet, my favorite, employ the mystery method, right? Bring the top hat and the cane or whatever the fuck you're wearing to peacock, right? All these buzzwords. And then you're going to make sure you neg the girl. You're going to strategically walk over to the girl on your way to the bathroom, and you're going to make a comment to her in passing and then continue on to the bath. Yeah, you're not going to do that shit, are you? If you're an introverted guy like myself. Yeah. So, and then obviously, you don't even have to be an introverted for this part to relate to. If you are on dating apps, I mean, God, come on. Yeah, unless you look like Clark Kent, Superman, or Captain America, or fucking Batman. Unless you look like a Hollywood actor, a male model, or a professional athlete, you're probably not getting much success on dating apps. I mean, let's be real. Are you a bodybuilder? I'm not. right? No wonder I was getting no matches. No wonder I had to pay for all the subscriptions and I still was getting no matches. And every now and then I'd get a fat girl and I'd go, yay, nice, I get to get laid finally. I mean, come on. It's unlikely you want to go down that route either. You don't want to pursue that, do you? So this is the option. Yeah, it's just that it takes a whole lot of courage, a whole lot of balls, and that's why guys love to throw rocks at it. And so I get it, right? I get it because the guys that do cross the bridge and they are able to find success with this skill set, they become like they, you're looking at them and all of a sudden they're up here now as far as courage and confidence, right? Guys see me walk over, and I used to be little Ephraim over here that couldn't do anything, but now they see me walk over to the girl and they go, "Whoa, that's Ephraim now? Holy shit!" And it's a little intimidating, right? So I get it, but if you keep watching these videos, why are you wasting time? And I don't know if it's you specifically, right? Maybe this is the first time you're watching the live stream, so maybe I'm not talking to you specifically, but there are guys, I know there are guys that follow the content. Why are we watching every video and every live stream but not doing anything with it? Yeah, I mean, hopefully at the very least you're trying to apply this on your own, but I have too many examples of my students specifically who were trying to employ this on their own. Most of them got to zero approaches because they couldn't even muster up the courage to do any without guidance. A couple of them, like Isaac and Sam, they got to a few approaches, but nothing was coming of it. Yeah, in fact, Isaac got to 600 approaches on his own, which is quite a few. And I think he got laid one time. He had like 2 dates. It's like, dude. And that was after, by the way, after he joined my private community and I started coaching him virtually. That's after that, right? And so it's like, then he came to work with me in person, and then all of a sudden he goes back to London. We just met up last weekend, in fact, and he starts flying. Literally starts flying, dates whenever he wants, walking over whenever he wants, meeting up with me. Now we're going and setting up double dates, which we did the last time we met up on the Sunday. That was fun. Isaac, if you're watching this, that was a fun conversation, wasn't it? So yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I value my time more than I value my money. And so I would rather pay somebody to teach me this skill set as fast as possible so that I can just have this sorted so I can stop watching Pull University content. You know what I'm saying? If I was the viewer that keeps coming to my content, what I would do is I would just pay the money to get the coaching so that I can learn the skill set and I can stop phase of your life, which is like Bitcoin mining or investment banking or whatever you're interested in, knitting, who knows, who cares, zookeeping, all right? Okay, that was a long tangent, was it? Wow, I'm just speaking from the heart today. You see, I'm amped up. I stood up. Okay, let's continue on with the story. So that was after the uncut, right? After the uncut, we ended it. I got the date lined up with Mrs. Purple Pants, and yeah, obviously you'll see these videos in a few weeks. I got quite a backlog of videos right now. The stuff you're seeing today is from day 3, and now I'm on day 12. Tomorrow's day 13, I think. I might be on day 11. I'm getting it mixed up. So you see, I have quite a backlog of content because I'm getting a lot of content every day. So yeah, this uncut specifically is probably not going to drop until sometime in October. But the point is, eventually you'll see it. You'll be able to match it up to this live stream, which is I got the date right on in the uncut. The entire uncut was 17 minutes. It took me 17 minutes to get a date. From the time we clicked record, I spent 2.5 minutes talking on the intro, and then the last 3-4 minutes of the video was an outro. So if we cut out the intro, the outro, what's that? 17 minutes minus give or take 5 minutes. It took me 12 minutes to line up a date. 12 minutes, 4 approaches, and we're done. We're done. Yeah, so if you're a busy professional, you don't want to be rampaging around the pavement for hours at a time. You don't want to be swiping for hours at a time. You don't want to be spending a Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday evening at a bar trying to get laid. You don't want to do all that shit, do you? I don't. So what do? We go out. Yeah, for me, I'm in London specifically to give you all the demonstrations I can. But if I was in London, let's say, and I was still working as a software salesman, what would I do? Well, oh shit, it's my lunch break. Okay, cool. Well, look, I could use a pick me up. I'm gonna walk over to the coffee shop, grab a coffee, and then I'll walk over to Subway and get a sandwich. And it's the exact same thing as what I've just demonstrated for you. Yeah. In fact, I had a Starbucks in my hand while I was doing it. Right. So I walk over to the coffee shop. Dot dot dot. Oh, she's cute. Okay, let me go say hello. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, she's not interested. Okay, have a nice day. Let me continue on. Okay, yeah, I'll take a vanilla latte, please, medium size. Thanks. I got my coffee now. Let's walk to. Oh shit, she's hot. Boom, boom, boom. Hi, excuse me. Oh, you're in a rush. Okay, have a nice day. And you continue on, and then all of a sudden, on approach number four, oh my God, she's all right. I've just gotten my Subway sandwich. I'm walking back to my office. La la la. Oh shit, she's hot too. Hey, excuse me. Purple pants. You look great. Why you got the McDonald's? Why are you carrying so much shit in your hands? Oh, you're bringing your lunch to the office. Oh, nice. I want to take you out for drinks. Yeah, okay, cool. Boom, boom, done. And now you have yourself a date for Friday night. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And it's a girl that you've met in person, so you've already vetted her. You've already filtered for compatibility. You already know that you guys get along. You already know that you're attracted to her, else you wouldn't have walked over to her in the first place. And it's as easy as that. Yeah, but keep in mind, you have to get to this point, and to get to this point where I can do this, it took a long time. But it doesn't have to take a long time because I can just teach it to you, right? Because I can just show you how to do it rather than trying to inch your way towards this kind of a lifestyle by following along my content and trying to employ what I'm doing. The problem is you don't have a recording option so that you can hear what you sound like in these conversations. That's a big portion of this. You don't have a camera pointed at you so you can see what you look like in these conversations and how your body language is. That's a big portion of this, right? Because when you see my infields, as much as you could try to emulate what I'm doing, what's likely to happen is that you're going to be doing a lot of things really wrong and really differently to how I do them, right? Not to say you need to copy me, but you just need to copy the fundamentals. And then the rest is your own personality and your own style and stuff, right? So, shameless plug, click the link in the description below then if you would like me to just show you how to do it. But, anyways, so we were at Victoria Station, so we walked from there towards Parliament Building, and I had quite a few really good conversations here. So, the second date that I lined up today was this girl that also from London. She was wearing all black, kind of had a goth vibe to her, and this is probably the best reaction I've gotten since I've been out here. So she looks really good. Yeah, you'll love her. You'll love her when you see her on camera. She looks pretty fit. It was so difficult for me to type in a fake number into her phone. I'm not gonna lie, but I did it. And so I said hello, and I gave her my compliment. It was proper bold too. It was at a crosswalk, but there were people in front of her. There were people to the left of her. When I watched the footage back, they all looked and turned and watched me as I spoke to her. But that's okay. The bolder, the better. And when I dropped off the compliment, she gave me like a huge reaction. Right? She was like flattered that I came over. So this was a fun chat. What's cool about this as well is I think like 2 3 minutes in, I literally blanked, and I just told her that I blinked. Right, so we're having a chat. I was saying, oh, I was gonna say something. There's like 3 seconds of awkward silence as I'm looking at her, and I'm going, okay, I'm kind of blanking right now. More silence, and then I go, you just look too good. I forgot what I had to say. And then she smiles, more silence, and I go, so anyways, what are you up to, right? And so I just move on. So this is just proof that I'm not perfect either, and you can still line up dates by not being perfect and not being the smoothest operator ever and not having the smoothest tongue. You can still fuck up and line up the date, right? So anyways, this girl was very keen on meeting, talked about meeting up tomorrow because I told her that I was meeting my friends today. But anyways, so yeah, gave her the number, walked away, walked to camera, winked at Dirty Dan, and we continued on. So that was the second date of the day that was lined up. A couple more blowouts in between that as we were walking to Parliament, and then towards the end of the day, there were a couple more pretty good conversations as well that didn't go anywhere. And then towards the end of the day, there were two really solid ones. You're gonna like these two. The last one specifically, you're really gonna like. But the second to last one was a very quick conversation. It was a girl that looked really good. She was wearing. It was cold today. I don't know why she had her toes out, but she's wearing these cute sandals, and then she had a skirt on, and then she had a black blazer on. And so when I walked over, she says that she's in a rush. She was headed to the where were we at, the London Bridge train station, wherever it was, whichever train station was nearby. And yeah, I told her she looks really good. She tells me she's in a rush. She's going to meet her brother, and I tell her that I still want to take her out. Yeah, I say I'm not going to make you miss your train, but I want to take you out. So take down her number, and then there we go. Tell her I'm here for 30 days. I want to take you out before I go. She agrees. She was pretty hot. Ah, sad days. I'm wasting approaches, boys. I'm not going on these dates. So I wish it was you instead of me doing these approaches because I'm not reaching out, right? I'm deleting their number anyways, but if only if only it was a client instead. So, yeah, that was the third date, right? So that was after I think the goth girl was earlier in the day. There was about a 30-minute period where it was raining, so we were kind of hanging out under an overhang waiting for the rain to subside. We walked for another 30 minutes or so, and then that's when I met this girl that had the black blazer on. And then to end the day, the last conversation of the day, I love when this happens. It doesn't always happen, but I love when it does, when the last conversation of the day goes really well. And that's what happened today. Now this this is why I say you guys are gonna love it. So this is a girl that was from Russia. She was wearing a brown fur coat. All right, so I can already tell this is gonna be a very clickable video when it comes out. The thumbnail is gonna be insane. But she was wearing a brown fur coat, right? Very Russian features. She had I think it was either light brown or blonde hair. Almost no eyebrows. Like they were so light and you know proper pale skin. She pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking it as I'm flirting with her, which was funny. But she has like a genuine mafia accent. I was like, holy shit! I'm glad this one was they're all for demonstration purposes, but for this approach, I was glad that it was just a demonstration because I was like, look, if I go on a date with this girl, I might wake up with no kidney. So but yeah, it was fun. And that was an interesting conversation because she told me when I was asking her about how is life in Russia, she was like, I don't know if it's good for you. And I go, why is that? What's wrong? What do you mean? What are you trying to say? And she's like, well, it's not me. I don't think this, but Russia, they think this. And I go, are you talking about race right now? She's like, yes, yes. I'm like, oh shit, so I shouldn't go to Russia, you're saying. What would happen if I go to Russia? And genuinely, this is my favorite part of the conversation. She goes, I don't know. You go to Russia, you walk, maybe somebody punch you. Like, what? They'd punch me for not doing anything with that. She's like, yes, yes. Crazy shit. But yeah, I remember I asked her if she drank. She said, of course. She says she drinks vodka. I tell her I want to take her out. She says she's here for a few weeks. I tell her I'm here for a month, so take down her number. She gives me her Spanish number, which is interesting. She goes, I have multiple numbers. So I take down her number, and then there you go. That's how we ended off the day, right? So that was the fourth date lined up. Once again, waste of an approach because it's just for demonstration, it's just for content. I'm not going on the date, so this should have been you instead of me, so that you could have actually gone on the date and you could have experienced Miss Russia and her vodka and her cigarettes. I don't know. I'm bad at these accents, but anyways, yeah. So that was fun. That was the day. All right. So it was a proper fun Friday, right? Four dates lined up in a day, and I'd say that's a pretty good day. Yeah. Now, not every day is gonna go like that. Just 2 days ago, it was the 17 blowout day, 17 rejections in a row before I got a date lined up, and so yeah, some days go better than others, but I like to stack the obstacles and make it as hard on myself as possible, just to prove to you that the obstacles only matter as much as you make them matter. You get to assign the importance or the non-importance to them. So yeah, boys, that's what I had to share today. Um, yeah. So look, I've said it 100 times in this live stream, but I'll just reiterate it. If you're a guy that keeps watching my content, you're here for a reason, right? Now, yeah, some people they see me as entertainment. They just like to watch my content. Some people they see me as education, and they like to learn principles, but they don't necessarily like to apply them, or maybe they're a little too scared to apply them right now. And so I get it. But yeah, there are some guys that they've hit their breaking point and they keep watching my content. And every day they're seeing another infield posted by Pull University. Oh, who's this guy lining up a date with today? Oh, here we fucking go. One, again, again, again. Right? It's probably getting to this point. At this point, it's probably getting annoying seeing my name pop up every day on YouTube, seeing another date and another date and another date and another date, and then at the end of the video I say, so these girls are just for demonstration purposes. I'm giving them all fake numbers anyways. And you probably roll your eyes and go, fuck, oh my god. So he's doing all this work. Now he's in front of the girl. Now she loves him. Now he's lining up a date, all for him to not go on the date. It should have been me. I agree. I agree with you. It should have been you. which is why I make content. Yeah, which is why I do all these demonstrations, which is why I edit them together, which is why I do all my dances in front of the camera and have Dirty Dan doing the Zoom work. This is why. This is why I fly to London. This is why I quit my remote software sales job. This is why I get out of the programming industry. I could have been getting paid very handsomely doing these other jobs that I'm qualified for, but guess what? Instead, I say, fuck it, I burn the boats and I fly to London and I get this content for you so that I can change your life. And I just know that there are guys, they're hovering over the button, they're ready to change their life, but they're just too scared to make the jump. And so for you, I will continue to go out, I will continue to get content, and I will continue to post and flaunt the results in your face until you realize that we're not getting any younger here. And you realize that I'm fucking tired of dates and I'm ready to give the skill set to the next generation, to the next guy. And when I say next generation, it doesn't even mean younger, right? I've already coached guys that are older than me. In fact, most of my clients thus far have been older than me. All right? So, if you are a guy that is introverted leaning, that wants to sort his dating life out without using dating apps and without going to nightclubs and bars, instead you want to show up to the bar already with your date, which is how I like to do it, then yeah, I can install my playbook into your life. It's just going to take some work, some dedication on your end, but we can discuss that more on the call. So feel free to schedule the free application call. The link is the first link in the description below. You can click on that, schedule a call in my calendar. Jesus. 1-800 number. Uh-oh, that's not good. It's probably Chase Bank. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Ephraim, you're broke as fuck right now. Please add more money to your savings account before we charge you. No, but anyways, boys, that's about all I had to share with you. So yeah, just click the link if you're ready to go, if you're tired of living the same day and the same week over and over again, you're tired of watching the same porn over and over again, you're tired of swiping on the same apps, getting the same lack of results, going to the same bars, drinking the same alcohol, going home with the same solo Uber ride home, right? Jeez, you're probably ordering Uber Pool because it's cheaper. Maybe you're like me, you hop on the Lime scooter to save a little bit of money. Man, the shit I used to do before cold approach. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, boys, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the content. I'll make another one tomorrow. Got another infield plan tomorrow. We should be going to a higher end district of London, so we'll see how I get on there. But until then, onwards and upwards. All right, boys. Got a fun video coming out tomorrow. You should like it. It'll be fun. You should enjoy it.